So I've left this to cure overnight, slightly unnecessarily, but nonetheless you can never really be too safe. Now this polyurethane glue takes moisture out of the air and uses that to cure, although obviously in guitar making that doesn't really make much of a difference, because all of your wood should be nice and dry, but it foams and fills gaps and things, and again you shouldn't have any gaps, but that comes away quite nicely, and it doesn't chip your tools like a dried Titebond can. Anyhow, that looks perfect, and we are going now to remove everything that I don't want. The glue will just scrape away. Let's do this properly. This is a blunt chisel, so I'm not scraping with a newly sharpened tool. The bobbin sander loaded with my wonderful Carroll drum sander. Sanding drum. There we go. So back in from the bobbin sander, and apart from just this little bit here where I need a smaller drum, the headstock shape is finalized. Just in the interest of aesthetics, I'm going to scrape away the excess polyurethane glue from here. The glue has filled my guide holes, so I need to find those again and just make sure I've got the right place with my brad awl. Aha! There you are. And 2mm drill bit. And that goes through. You need a center or brad point drill bit at this stage. A center point, or I think it's called a brad point drill, is supposed to cut in without tearing away any material. And what I tend to do, in fact I normally do this with a hand drill, but I thought I'd best show you best practice, really, since I'm teaching. But what I normally do is I drill from one side and then from the other, and that absolutely means that there will be no tear out at the back. If you look here, you can see as I drilled through from the back with the 2mm drill bit, there was a little bit of tear out here. Now I wasn't worried about that because it was only a small bit, and the 10mm drill now will remove that. But with the 10mm, if you tear out through the back, you're going to have a huge wound. And, well, there's nothing worse, quite frankly. Anyhow, I think this is plugged in. Let's see. So we now have tuner holes and a neck and a body, and the back plates have been created and fitted, and they fit probably a little bit too snugly, but to all intents and purposes, this guitar is pretty much a guitar now. Now, there are no inlays in the headstock yet, and we will be doing some inlay on the back of the headstock as well, and also around the circumference of the guitar, and a dot in the end there as well. There's lots of smaller, finer details in this build, but I'm not going to do the inlay in the headstock now because it's technically not going to be an inlay, really. It is going to be inlaid, but we also want it to be 3D, so we want it to stand proud of the headstock and give a little bit more interest. I've grown to think that standard inlays are rather boring, and I like the way that, you know, a nice car has got a 3D logo that sort of sits proud, or is recessed inside a cavity but not perfectly. I don't know. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and it looks swish and nice. So we're going to be doing something similar with this build. The next stage then is pretty much sanding. I'm going to take the neck and the body, and I'm going to make some dust, and we're going to get it to within, you know, spitting distance of being ready for finish. And then I'm going to do various inlays, and then do the final coat of sanding, the final push with the finest grits. But for now, I will leave you with a completed guitar, and well, a completed guitar, a guitar which has had a lot of all the woodwork done. I can't talk anymore. I shall now leave you and stop talking. I need to make some dust. Cheerio, bye.